Hi guys, Karen here with another Creuset video. Welcome back to our channel and thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, welcome. We're so glad that you're here, and we would hope that if you're enjoying the videos that you will join the fam and hit the subscribe button. If you're one of our returning OGs, welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. So today, I'm not going to keep you guys long. As you could tell, I am hoarse. Yes, we all have a cold, but we are all on the mend. Thank you to all those who sent well wishes. We're all doing well. Yeah, and so I'm not going to keep you guys long because I'm going to rest my voice for the rest of the day. But I thought this was a very interesting video to do, simply because I received a question from one of our subscribers. I thought it was an interesting question because I had never heard of it before. And so as you can tell by the title, there are three items, three defects that I'm going to share with you guys today that occur in some Le Creuset items. But these defects are cosmetic. They have no bearing on how well the pot or pan functions, and it's not uncommon for Le Creuset items to have tiny cosmetic flaws due to the fact that no two pieces are identical, due to the fact also that these things are made by hand. And so the best way that I'm able to relate, to understand that is I've purchased pottery, Polish pottery, and any type of pottery, you're going to see some type of flaw. I had the opportunity to go to the Polish pottery factory in Poland and to see some of the pieces made right in person. And it's very interesting because one plate will, they'll decorate the entire plate, and the goal is for each design to look just like each plate. If you're buying 8 plates, you want them all to be the same, and you know that they're not because they're making them by hand. So if you look at your plates or your bowls long enough, you will see tiny flaws and mistakes, but these are because the things are made by hand. But the question that I was asked about the Le Creuset item was, and I've paraphrased it, and I have my handy dandy notebook today, is they bought a Le Creuset item and ended up exchanging it twice due to what's called pinholes. And they changed out their item twice and just switched over to stove items. And so they asked, had I ever, come across this before? And indeed, I have, actually. I really hadn't. I've seen these when they show up, but I didn't know what they were. So let me give you an example of pinholes. So here we have in a pot, you'll see where you'll have like little impressions. You'll also have, you can see the little tiny holes. And then this third picture is actually circled for you so you can actually see where it's occurring. Okay, so pinholing or pinholes, these are common surface defects that occur in ceramic glaze. A glaze defect is where tiny holes are present, I'm reading, in the fired glaze surface. These holes normally go down, to the body surface, meaning they just become smooth after a while. However, sometimes the tiniest holes escape inspection, and so they move along in the process. But it does not affect how the pot functions, when you cook. And it doesn't disrupt the enamel coating on the inside at all. So it's just in some cases, just not aesthetically pleasing to the eye. So that's pin holding for you. So that's one example of a defect that you might find, okay? And then next up, our next one was a bumpy interior. Now, I have a pot here, and I will say this. I'm going to show you which pot it is of mine that has a bumpy outside, but I didn't realize that until I was looking, what are the most common defects. So mine is my the round wide Dutch oven. Come on, Karen, get it together, girl. So you can't see it, but as I move my hand across, right across in here, there's a little bump. It's just a little bump right here on the side, right there. And let me put it down gently. And so I was kind of like, oh my goodness. So the bumpy answer is, this is very normal, okay? So if you're experiencing some bumpiness on your pots, this is very normal. So let me read to you what the answer was for this. After the casting process, each pot is shot blasted with tiny pellets to create a rough surface so the enamel adheres to the surface. Some pots do have a rougher surface, and it can be a little bumpy as well. When the enamel is sprayed over the rougher surface, you can easily see, some bumpiness. You can easily see some of the bumpiness, but it's anything that's going to come through inspection, it's not going to be extreme. Like mine isn't. I really have to find it. And the only reason why I thought of it is because I started doing research for this video. And that's when I remembered this pot and pulled it out. But I really had to keep turning and turning and turning. And it's not visible to the eye. Like even when I tried to see it in the light, I really couldn't. It's just by feel. But it doesn't take away from the functionality, or to me, even because I can't really see it, it's not taking anything away from it. But certainly if the bumpiness is not necessarily extreme, but if it's bothering you, by all means, I would definitely contact Le Creuset and see if you can exchange it. And I'm sure they will, because this is a common defect, but it doesn't have any bearing on the functionality of the item. So it's not going to affect its use at all. It's not going to come undone. It's cast iron, so it's just not as smooth as they probably would have liked. But other than that, the pot still functions. And then last but not least, I said I wasn't going to keep you guys, and I'm wondering, how did I even make it to 8 minutes? Okay, so then the last item is rough edges around the rim. This one was so mind-blowing. I just thought, oh, I didn't even know that. So the rough edge is not a defect. It helps with the pressurized, have you ever watched, sometimes when I'm cooking, I'll oftentimes say that the Le Creuset acts as a wonderful pressure cooker in some instances. And that's due to that lid forming a nice tight bond when you put it on and get it into a good place. That motion of putting that lid on, moving it around, helps it situate itself and get settled from on the surface and match up evenly with the pot, with the lid and the pot below. So it's hard to explain, but as you are, let me use that pot is so heavy, guys. So you just put it on your lid, it just circles in. That's what I tend to do, circle in to where it's like set in place, like it's a natural place for that lid. And after a while, the rough edge kind of gets smoothed out, by the constant use. So it's not a defect at all. But yeah, but some people, it's Some people will see it as maybe uneven for a little bit, but the more you use it, it will level itself out between the lid and the pot. They'll eventually match up. I hope that makes some sense. But let me know in the comments below if you have noticed any other common defects with the Le Creuset and even Staub items as well. But these were the three that I saw most often, that had the most questions, and it was really interesting, to say the least. I didn't know, but let me know in the comments below if you've noticed any other common defects that don't affect the functionality of the piece. Well, guys, I hope you all found this interesting as I did. And let me know what you think in the comments below. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!